Welcome back. And now we're moving over to a very, interesting conversation. It's quite controversial in Nigeria's political history. We have this Bright Emeka Ngene, Labour Party candidate, who has won by-election for Enugu South 1 state constituency while serving a 7-year prison sentence. And, this has sparked a lot of conversation on the legal implications of this. Now, with us live in the studio this morning is Barrister Hayaking. He's a legal practitioner and human rights advocate. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure being here.
It's a pleasure to have you in person. In person. We always have you, via Zoom.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think you have a beautiful studio. This is where you are cooking all these big things. I think it's a wonderful place. It's a wonderful place.
Yes.
It's fine.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so
much. Now let's look at this legal implications of this Labour Party candidate who won by-election from the prison. Now, can you explain, the legal framework in Nigeria regarding the eligibility of a person serving a prison sentence to contest and win an election?
Let me say this. It has been my favorite quote that Nigerian politicians, they don't do what is right. They don't do what is legal. They don't do what is constitutional. They don't do what is moral. All they do is what is political. And most of the time, what is political is unconstitutional, is illegal, is immoral, is wrong. And that is what they do. They don't ever do what is right or good. They only do what they will tell you is political. And because I just went through the write-up and I followed up on the story of Bright Ngige. And I discovered that what they are doing is political. None of the things that they are doing to that young man that is political, that is legal or constitutional. What they did, I heard that he was convicted, horribly convicted. How can you in Nigeria? It's not possible to finish a case in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 1 year. Criminal matter, it's not possible. Considering our legal architecture, considering the procedural system that we operate, it's not possible. You open your due arraignment, the prosecution will open their case and present their case. After that, we now do cross-examination. After cross-examination, you now do what we call either you do a no case submission or either you go on with your defense. You can't finish that in 1 year. You cannot. It's not possible. Remember the Odious or Carlos matter. It took 12, maybe 14 years. And at the end of the day, the Supreme Court said the procedure adopted was wrong. And the man is walking free. So this one, you quickly and just got him. I'm not saying he has not committed an offense, but I'm saying that the procedure is wrong. That is what we are saying. Answering your question, the legal, grounds for somebody to be in prison and win election. It has happened before. You have forgotten. Theodore Oji was in prison when he won for the governorship election. EFCC arrested him. I think he's not the only one. Theodore Oji and one other person was in prison. Yeah. What's his name again? The one that was accused of killing Bola Ige. Yes, I remember. The guy that was accused of. He was there won for the senatorial district of position of his constituency and all that. What I'm saying, in essence, is that what they are doing is political and it's wrong, unconstitutional. And they don't care. These men don't care. You see why I laugh? Why I laugh is that what you are doing today may be visited upon you tomorrow. Where is the almighty former Senate, Deputy Senate President? Where is he? What's his name again? Ike Ekweremadu. The almighty Ike Ekweremadu in Enugu here. Where is he today? He's in prison, locked up. So the people perpetrating this evil against Bright, we may be in prison tomorrow. Bright too may come out tomorrow and perpetrate the same thing on them. It's sad. It's extremely very, very sad that in Nigeria we find ourselves in such situation. We have evil people, managing our affairs. We have people without conscience, people that does not regard the constitution, people that rapes the democracy. They are the ones managing our affairs. It's so unfortunate, extremely unfortunate that we are passing this through this phase in our political history. Right from 1999, I can tell you that the Bible says, if the foundation is faulty, what can the righteous? I think that's the problem we have. I am aware that in 1998, when they were forming political parties, I had opportunity of being a member of the political party, especially PDP. And I told them, no, I will not be member. And I told him, I said, Abdul Salami was not going to hand over. General Abdul Salami, the last military head of state. And I said, that man would not. How can the man hand over? Abacha just died. 1 month, Abacha was killed. The evidences are there now that Abacha was killed. 1 month later, Abiola died, also was killed. And the man said, I'm handing over in 9 months. June, July. I didn't believe him, considering the trajectory of the military behavior. You know, I didn't believe him. No one had a military transition from 1970. He didn't honor it. That was part of why the Murtala Muhammad, overthrew him. Then Obasanjo came. Yes, Obasanjo for the first time completed the tenure of, Murtala Muhammad and handed over in 1979. But with all the other ones that Buhari removed, Babangida shifting, Maradona and all those things, I didn't believe Abubakar was going to hand over. So I didn't bother to participate. So what now happened was that never do wells, poops, people that failed as lawyers, as doctors, as professionals, whatever, people that didn't have job, they are the people that started this our democracy that we are having now. That's the problem we have. People that didn't have to say, oh boy, let we go now. Highest now. If not, it seems no work now. So let's just go. If the man hand over, we take. If he no hand over, we leave. And fortunately, suddenly the man handed over. That was the beginning of our problem in Nigeria. I can challenge some of them. I've asked people like Obasanjo, people like Amechi, people like Wike, let them bring their bank account. Let us see how much they had before 1999. All of them, all of the politicians, let them come and show me their bank account. 1999, before May 29 down. Let me see whether any of them had 1 million or 2 million in their account. How much did they have? So these men became important in Obasanjo was in Otafa was dead. He left government 20 years ago, 79, 89, 99, 20 years. The man was gone. He was in prison to be killed. Obasanjo too. Remember too. So we're talking about people who come from prison to win election and all that. But I'm also saying that it's unfortunate the way these people have managed our affairs. Failures. So by 2002, when people now saw, oh, this thing is true, people now, reasonable people, conscientious people, nationalists, people that have the interest of Nigeria at heart, when they now wanted to come, like in Rivers State, where I come from, they now formed court groups. The court group started in 2002 in Rivers. So that's how the court group started to use it to scare people like us away. And since then, we kept away from politics. So they now hijacked everywhere, started killing people, forming groups, but in the north.
Yes.
The same thing happened in the north.
King, back to the this conversation on Bright in Guinea. Now, you've mentioned that most of the things that politicians do are not legal per se. It's mostly political. And you've already mentioned several politicians who have won elections while in prison. But I'd like to know, doesn't that disqualify them automatically? I mean, let's look at it not from the political aspect. I want us to look at it from the real thing. What should be? When a politician is in prison or is incarcerated for a criminal activity or offense, is that person eligible to be part of an election or to win an election from prison?
I'll answer the two. When you are charged with a crime, you are considered innocent until found guilty. Okay. So you are not a convict. It's only an ex-convict that Nigeria says you cannot contest election. But so long you are being charged with a crime, like that of Theodore Oji, he was charged. He was not convicted. Obasanjo was convicted, but pardon, came back. Then that guy, what is his name? Not Showore. I've forgotten his name. He was a senator. I think he's late even now. I don't know. I've not heard of him again since then. So he was the one that was accused. So he was there and won his senatorial seat. Now, answer your question expressly. No. If you have not been convicted by any court, you are not an escort. You can contest election even while in prison. Doesn't matter. Okay. It doesn't matter. But this from Gide's case, I also heard that he has been convicted or something.
Yes.
But I think maybe there was an appeal or whatever.
Yeah, he's still.
And there was an appeal. But you can also see that
he's still appealing his conviction.
So if you are still, we have what we call when you are convicted, you now appeal your matter. You cannot ask for bail. When you ask for bail, you are now on bail pending appeal. Bail pending appeal at the High Court, bail pending appeal at the Court of Appeal, bail pending appeal at the Supreme Court. Once you are convicted, say, oh no, I disagree with this conviction. You go on appeal. You're no longer an ex-convict. You're no longer a convict. So what happens at that point? You can do anything you are doing, continue. Like Jules Okalu, he was still running everything he was running, contested for Senate, went to the Senate, while that matter was going on. So Ngige's case cannot be an exception. So it's not Ngene, I mean to say. Bright Ngene's case cannot be an exception. So there's nothing illegal about it. It's completely legal. So long until you are convicted by the court, the final court, even if you are convicted by a court of appeal, you have not appealed to Supreme Court. You are still not. You are a convict. Yes, you are a convict at that point. You are a convict at that point. It's okay, except you now accept it and now say, okay, let me serve my prison terms. You now serve it. But if you are continuing to appeal, you are still not convicted until when Supreme Court says, okay, final. It gives their final imprimatur, give bagam, so you are gone. Then you cannot. It's only God you can appeal to, or the governor at that point can grant you amnesty, and the pardon, the presidential pardon, like the one they did for Lamesia. I think who again they did for. I think some people at Lamesia, Silva, former governor of Bayelsa State, was also such thing was also extended. Such gesture was extended to him. That was why he came back and became minister and all that participated in politics. So it's possible. You can now see that the whole thing is politics. So if you commit a crime today, when you now find your way in the government of the day, your sins are forgiven. They will now pat you, your sins are forgiven. You have become a new creature. All things are passing. You continue again.
Okay, but
unfortunate.
Now, looking at this Ngene's case now, he's in prison currently.
Yes.
If an elected candidate is unable to perform his legislative duties due to incarceration, what happens to the seat?
It's unfortunate. It impacts. It's actually going to be impacting on his constituency. His constituency will be losing out. The people he ought to represent, the people he ought to render services to. There are his constituency, the constituency projects, a lot of things, his personal, participation, talking for his people. The people are, it's not just in Ghana now that he's being deprived, but the entire constituency that he represents and what they are doing in the name of politics. Let me even say this, and it's unfortunate that even people doing this thing, they are lawyers like him. In the legal profession, we have what we call camaraderie. We have that relationship, that understanding. The governor is a lawyer, the attorney general is a lawyer. All of them are from here. It's unfortunate. I know similar thing also happened in Rivers State. Yes, Chidi Lloyd was incarcerated. Ojukaye. Today they are working together. I won't be surprised if Ngene and them tomorrow night see them together.
Working together.
Tomorrow Ngene becomes House of Assembly, becomes the Speaker, working with the Kingsley, the Attorney General as a governor, or the governor. They can work together again. But their vindictive nature is so sad. I met one of them who was haunted by Wike, put in prison, paraded all over the place. I met him recently. He said, we have settled, we are now working together. I looked at him. That's honorable. But why is it that you people, when you hunt somebody, say that it's like that? Oh, you say if they want to get this cup that is here now, and something here is, say they must remove this, even if it is his father that is here, that they will remove that his father or mother, wife, children, they will remove that to get that cup. When they get it, they can settle later. I said, that's what the guy was talking very fine. So they were settled now. He's now working with the minister there. I said, well, so some of us will come here and be talking on their behalf. Later on, you see them come together again. The same DSS now that is working with which I know when he was chief of staff. They were hunting him in Rivers State. We defended him. We said, no, it's wrong. We cannot arrest our chief of staff. He cannot do this. He cannot do that. And we supported him. We did all that. So, but today,
Well, the game is the game now.
Oh yeah. What about Tinubu and Keyamo? They were cat and dog when they were today. They are working together. So that is. But for me, I think that we should go beyond that in politics. A situation where you kill everybody. What about if you had killed me? Okay. What about if he dies now? God forbid he dies. Will you work with him tomorrow? I think for me, I think it's too
extreme.
It's too extreme. Yeah. It's too extreme when it has to do with life. And these are lawyers, your colleagues. They may have even done cases together, collaborated in the past, but today they cannot no longer. But again, I think in history, it has always been like that. I think during the Second World War, even when this man's son was kidnapped, what's his name again? The fascist, I think Mussolini. He didn't pay the ransom. He said the son should die. He didn't pay. What about Babangida? Babangida executed his childhood friend, Mama Mvasa. He executed. But I don't know why you get to that extent. I mean,
yes, exactly.
If you kill the person today, will you use them tomorrow? You can't use them tomorrow. Yes. It's about, if the interest is about us, Nigerians, if the interest is about Nigerians, not about personality, not about money, not about, I don't know, what it is for them. If it is to represent us, even when we say we don't want this, you tell us this is what we want. Because we don't want this person. This is the person we want. Say, no, you must take me. I mean, you force us down our throat.
So now,
you force yourself down our throat.
In the Nigerian law, is there any room for temporary or acting representation in scenarios like this that we just talked about, when the person,
for somebody else?
For someone that is in prison but is elected? Is there any room for a representation, maybe an acting representative for the person, pending when they are released?
No, I've not seen such. I've not read about any representative. Okay, they will now call me, come and be representing my House of Assembly member in the House because he's in prison. No, I don't think we have any. We don't have any, proxy representation or delegated representation. Representation is a full-time job. It's a full-time job in Nigeria, both for the president, the governor, the House of Assembly, the chairman, the councillors. It's a full-time job, just like you have full-time job here, and even the civil service, the military, the personnel, the police, is a full-time job. You can't take any other job. That is the way they have made everything, and I think it's good. That is also why you see that the politicians, people are now saying that politicians should be part-time because they are taking a lot of money. But it's actually a full-time job. It can't be part-time. It cannot actually be part-time. Because that's also why, I want you to say that's also why they said, for the governor, for instance, if you have any civil matter against the governor, the governor is not expected to have any criminal matter before becoming a governor. And all they also expect to have any criminal matter because becoming. What I mean, a criminal matter where he's being taken to court regularly and have to be appearing in court because it was civil or even civil matter, in fact, or any matter at all. Why they did that? So that for concentration. So the governor or the president will concentrate and be doing because our job needs his concentration. That's why they say the governor is immune from being sued while in office. So if there's a new case you're having with him, land matter, chieftaincy matter, that matter have to be in abeyance. That matter has to be, you have to adjoin a synod, and until he finishes his office. The law didn't say you should leave him completely. If he finishes his office, then you can now continue with the matter. But me, I have even argued that, look, if the governor is in office and commits a crime, and investigated and discovered, he should resign and face it. He cannot be our president while facing it, or the governor while facing it. No, he will resign. That is how it's done in America. If they investigate and they discover, they resign, or they ask you to resign. Once you resign, they prosecute you. If you remember the Watergate scandal, that they went to tap the Republican, tap the Democrats. That was what was Watergate scandal. While the investigation was going on, people were resigning, everybody was leaving. So finally, the president had to face the Senate. And when he got to it, I love what he said. He said, when he got to the Senate, he now told them, he said, look, gentlemen, if the president cannot protect the information he gets, he cannot get the information he needs to run America. I hereby resign. He wasn't prosecuted. He just resigned. That was how he resigned. That very day, when he faced them, he said, look, if the president cannot protect the information he gets, he cannot get the information he needs to run America. And I think the same thing in Nigeria. And he resigned. So that was how that matter died. So what I'm saying is that in Nigeria, we should copy some of these good things. Nigeria, we don't resign until we are forced out. You know, the man I mentioned earlier, the godfather of this place before, Deputy Senate President, former Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu, he didn't finish his tenure. He didn't finish his tenure, if you remember. He was arrested while the tenure was still remaining some months. So I can't remember how many months that was remaining. And he's in British prison, which we have argued that is wrong. British has no power to try him over there. I disagree with that. We are selling our conscience. Maybe one day they will come and take our president. Because you see, politicians do things that they don't think about tomorrow. Maybe one day our president will go to London, they'll catch him in London and begin to try him over there. It's possible. Deputy Senate President. And politicians don't cry because they want to take him out. Just like they are doing to Ngige. Now you want to take Ngige out. You are doing this. Ngige, I mean to say Ngige. You want to take him out and you are doing this to him. What about tomorrow the young man comes out, weathers all this on the government and take you out like this too? Just the way they did to Ike Ekweremadu. It's very wrong. It's an insult to Nigeria. Our Senate President, number 4, I think number 4. President, Deputy President, President, Vice President, Senate President, he's number 4 man. And look at the way he was taken out. And everybody talk about it because he's Ike Ekweremadu. One day they will do another politician because the British have seen that doing that helps. They will do that another politicians. That's why people like us will say, do the right thing.
Exactly.
Do the right thing. Because let the law flow. Let it not be because of Ngene or because of Ike Ekweremadu or because of Mba. Don't do that. Because what you sow will come back. You cannot be where. Let me tell you, between now and next year, let me prophesy. Between now and next year, August, a lot of changes will happen. Ngene may be the one calling the shot. Mba may be the one calling the shot. Like I keep on saying, Mike may be somewhere else. Sim may be another place. Between now and next year, tickets will be given. Alignment and realignment. You will see what will happen. You remember today, you remember it. A year from today, you see realignment.
This is a prophecy.
Presently, no politician knows where he is. Now they don't know where they are. None of them can tell you I will remain where I am now. They will move, moving and come.
Because we're slowly, getting to our time limit. But I just want to ask you, if the conviction is later overturned on appeal, right? What retroactive legal implications exist for actions that have been taken on Ngene while imprisoned and declared elected? Yeah,
there's something we call malicious prosecution. If at the end of the day you are cleared and you look at the circumstances and all, you can file for what we call malicious prosecution. Damages will be awarded. Yeah. You cannot just wake up and fabricate stories and get me arrested, put me in prison, and the court at the end of the day say all these things are false, all these things are wrong, and I just go and sleep. No. I spent money, I spent humiliation, I experienced humiliation, I torture, mental, everything, and they violated my rights as contained in the 1999 Constitution as amended from section 33 to 43, and you are telling me I should go free? No. We call it malicious prosecution. If it was discovered that the prosecution was malicious and it was, I didn't commit the crime, it was fabricated, you can even be charged for false information. But me and you know that these guys are politicians. They can do anything. Anything can. That is why I told you. I said Nigeria is not a zoo. Now we can't say it's a zoo. I don't think we are in a zoo. We are even beyond a zoo. We are in a jungle. I'll tell you the story. What happened in the jungle? What happened in the zoo? Animals are curtailed. Everybody is in his cage, and lion can be here while antelope is there. Antelope, how are you? Good morning. How are you? Tell your wife. Nothing. Lion cannot do anything. So we will be charging on a lion. But in jungle, lion can just wake up. As he just moving, he just saw antelope. Antelope, where are you going? Antelope say, how your family? After exchanging pleasantry, your family fine, your work, and after they exchange pleasantry, you now ask antelope, where are you going? Antelope say, I'm going to look for grass where we eat some fine. I'm looking for where we see green grass. You know where it's dry now. Lion will say, come. Let me have my own meal. Come. Antelope say, but where you just exchange? It doesn't matter. Come, just. And nobody will restrict lion. And lion will just eat the antelope. That is where we are.
That is what our political
That is what we are. Where we are. Yeah, lion can just wake up, catch antelope, catch monkey, catch anybody, and just eat. The same thing with the antelope. Antelope will just go catch the grass and eat the grass. But if it's in a zoo, everybody is caged. It's only the grass you give to antelope you will eat. The meat you give to lion, lion will eat. That is where we are. That is why something like this is happening to a lawyer, a custodian of law, a man who defends others, and this is happening to him. They don't even know that this will also impact on the mentality of Nigerians.
Exactly.
It's also reducing the quality of legal is it service or whatever you call it. The legal profession is being demeaned. If this can happen to a lawyer, so who else is safe? Even the military respected the. Did you see the military arrest any judge? Did you see the military go in the night to bust any judge's house? But these people have done it. These politicians, they can't do anything. Supreme Court judge went to their house, bust their houses in the night. It has never happened. No military, no judge was harassed. No single judge was harassed. Let me tell you another one.
Oh,
during the trial of the 9, finally, during the trial of the 9, the only person that was removed from that tribunal, Samuel was the president, secretary, Samuel was the president, treasurer, PRO. All the people that was executed, they were members of MOSOP, the executive members of MOSOP. Only the secretary general was exonerated. Lady Mite was removed because he was a lawyer. The rest was executed. But now, these politicians have thrown everything to the wind. We are calling for the release. I am also the vice chairman of NBA Human Rights Committee, Port Harcourt. I'm standing as the vice chairman of NBA Human Rights Committee, speaking that my colleague, I don't know him before, but he should be released. He has gone on appeal. Afford him that opportunity, because even the trial is speedy. As a higher king, speaking as a human rights advocate, that young man should be released. He was in prison and won. That is to tell you that the man is popular, that the man is good. People said he must be him. So give it to him, because you may still work together tomorrow. Who knows?
Yes, thank you so much, Barrister Hayaking. You're quite a very interesting and energetic. I love that. Thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure to have you, and we hope that you come again another time for another interesting conversation. All right, and that is it. We'll be back in a short while. Do stay with us.
Save Nature TV, news in your pocket.